They don't want me recording this. These motherfuckers are such weasels. Weasel motherfuckers. There's only one thing. I can smash this motherfucker's head in, do you understand? In broad daylight and live free to tell about it in the court. I got everything I need. I got proof, except this motherfucker's coordinates. Because I know if he presents himself and we examine his in his proximity, immediate proximity, we're going to find everything we need. And it's known that this dude is a fucking gangstalker, spy. He needs to go to jail, along with the rest of them. This is treasonous. And you got 500,000 of these motherfuckers, okay? How many COs in a prison of 15,000? Think about it, motherfuckers. They're only keeping track of a couple million people in a country of 300 plus million, okay? There's a cicada in here or something, or they're using the sound. They're making the sound of a cicada. These people are sick, really. They use crickets and shit to listen. And they're eavesdropping devices. These are eavesdroppers, okay? This is about informants. This is about informants, and it's very, very interesting. You should check it out. I'm sorry for the editorialization in the beginning, but I can't. I can't stand it. I gotta find out what this fucking this noise is. It sounds like a cicada or something. These people, they herd bugs. They can fly flies into your eye, mosquitoes and shit and bugs into your eye. Like, they're losers. They're fucking losers.
The D.T. Stockton document re-examined. Several years ago, someone under the name of D.T. Stockton posted a document about his investigation into the informant system. Quite a bit of it agreed with information that I had already come to agree with, but how much could be verified? Do the informants really have communication via a special frequency? Are most people in major cities on the informant system? T.S. Informants. http://gangstalkingterrorism.wordpress.com. The answer to the above questions, in my opinion, estimation, and investigation is confirmed, and then some. The world is scarier than we realize. To investigate any of this information without being familiar with the informant system or government agencies is almost impossible. For a normal, fairly sane person to try to investigate the information can be cumbersome, but in this community of targeted individuals, to stay alive and survive, many have had to become minor investigators in their own capacities. Threat assessment teams, the topic has been covered several times. That's what the community was up against. For case history, I give you the Jane Clift case. Her case is exactly what most people on a minor scale are up against. In Jane's case, she was advised she was getting listed as medium risk, only to be seen in pairs, and that a warning would come up every time she was in any situation. https://gangstalking.wordpress.com/?s=Jane plus Clift plus. The case is what we end up seeing in the gangstalking community on a minor level. For example, Threat assessment team evaluated her as a danger to the community. In her case, it was the local council. In other cases, HR gets the person listed, however it happens. Once the person is listed, they are monitored by the local monitoring units or individuals in the community. In her case, she was monitored for trying to be a good citizen. Others have complained about monitoring for arguments with those in the community or workplace who have the know-how to get individuals listed. Once the local monitoring unit is called in, you have positions in some countries, such as community advisors, unit commanders, shift commanders, who are responsible for the monitoring of the individuals. The unit and shift commanders, or in some cases, caseworkers, as one liked to fancy himself as, are responsible. In too many cases, some are criminals themselves, and organize a deliberate campaign of harassment against the individuals. Thus, people on the street are literally being given directions. The ones that are on the informant system, or in some simple cases coworkers, are being given a warning about the person. Mostly, however, it's the informant class and the government agent class that create the problems for innocent individuals, deliberately trying to destroy their lives and removing them all too often from their existences. Now try coming into any of the above positions without being on the informant system or agency, and those in charge have no idea what to do with you. It would be almost impossible to get into a community advisor role, unit commander role, or shift commander role without being in one of these situations, but if you could get into one of these roles, slip in unnoticed, or accidentally come into the role, then those who interface with these units have no idea how to interact with the individual, because the systems are now creepishly designed to work with the informant system. Period. Government agents. Energy. https://gangstalking.wordpress.com/2010/12/12/energy. Whenever I read the case of John St. Clair Equay, and what governments are capable of doing, or allegedly capable of doing as per the lawsuit that the signal intelligence agent filed against the government, pertaining to aspects of his work, it always sounds so futuristic, so Matrix-like in some ways, but it's a lawsuit that's been there for over 15 years now. The stuff that could be done back then would scare most people now, but image what they are capable of now, if brain mapping, remote neural monitoring and other situations were commonplace when you worked for NASA. http://www.whale.to/b/equate.pdf. John St. Clair Equay vs. NASA. John St. Clair Equay vs. NASA. Quote, detecting EMF fields in humans for surveillance. A subject's bioelectric field can be remotely detected, so subjects can be monitored anywhere they are. With special EMF equipment, NSA cryptologists can remotely read evoked potentials from EEGs. These can be decoded into a person's brain states and thoughts. The subject is then perfectly monitored from a distance. NSA personnel can dial up any individual in the country on the signal's intelligence EMF scanning network, and the NSA's computers will then pinpoint and track that person 24 hours a day. The NSA can pick out and track anyone in the U.S. NSA signals intelligence use of EMF brain stimulation. NSA signals intelligence uses EMF brain stimulation for remote neural monitoring, RNM, and electronic brain link, EBL. EMF brain stimulation has been in development since the MK Ultra program of the early 1950s, which included neurological research into radiation, non-ionizing EMF, and bioelectric research and development. Quote. Tracking a person via their EMF fields. Brain mapping technology that allows you to map a person's mind, but at a distance. Quote. The NSA has proprietary electronic equipment that analyzes electrical activity in humans from a distance. NSA computer-generated brain mapping can monitor all the electrical activity in the brain continuously. The NSA Records Aid decodes individual brain maps of hundreds of thousands of persons for national security purposes. EMF brain stimulation is also secretly used by the military for brain-to-computer link in military fighter aircraft, for example. For electronic surveillance purposes, electrical activity in the speech center of the brain can be translated into the subject's verbal thoughts. RNM can send encoded signals to the brain's auditory cortex, thus allowing audio communication direct to the brain, bypassing the ears. NSA operatives can use this to covertly debilitate subjects by simulating auditory hallucinations, characteristic of paranoid schizophrenia. Without any contact with the subject, remote neural monitoring can map out electrical activity from the visual cortex of a subject's brain and show images from the subject's brain on a video monitor. NSA operatives see what the surveillance subject's eyes are seeing. Visual memory can also be seen. RNM can send images direct to the visual cortex, bypassing the eyes and optic nerves. NSA operatives can use this to surreptitiously put images in a surveillance subject's brain while they are in REM sleep for brain programming purposes. Quote. Remember, it's been claimed that this stuff has been available for decades. The lawsuit that brought this technology to light was almost 20 years ago, and this is a person who worked for the agency, and I think with this technology. If this is being used remotely and at a distance on people, how many people in society might not even be aware that such programming has been used on them until it's too late? Quote. Capabilities of NSA operatives using RNM. There has been a signals intelligence network in the U.S. since the 1940s. The NSA, FOOTNEED, has in place a vast two-way wireless RNM system which is used to track subjects and non-invasively monitor audiovisual information in their brain. This is all done with no physical contact with the subject. RNM is the ultimate method of surveillance and domestic intelligence. Speech, 3D sound, and subliminal audio can be sent to the auditory cortex of the subject's brain, bypassing the ears, and images can be sent into the visual cortex. RNM can alter a subject's perceptions, moods, and motor control. Quote. Frequency. The Informants are contacted on the street with a special frequency, and they do get instructions. If you could hear the stuff they are advised, literally walk really close to this person. We just want to see if he reacts. We just want to see if she has a reaction to it. Mostly the average person would just do what they are told, because most do not see the bigger picture. They are innocent in a way, but some are pretty specific. For example, driving close enough to cause an accident, deliberately. Some are all too knowing and cognizant, meaning fully aware. It's a scary balance, and I can now personally attest to the fact that they do have in most cases directions that are being conveyed to them. A frequency is being utilized, and that's pretty scary. Could a variety of individuals be on the informant system? I mean, to be an informant, don't most people have to be criminals? It's pretty scary, because in most people's minds informants are criminals, at least in my mind they were, but in today's society, they get all sorts onto the informant system. I do feel that some groups are targeted more than others, just based on attitudes and mentalities of those that are deliberately assigned with ensuring school children get placed on the informant system. High school and the informant system, JR High and the informant system. Yes, that's the fate of some of our school children, isn't that nice? You would think that people have to commit some major crime, but even with just the items I've researched online, for example, Rachel Hoffman. https://gangstalking.wordpress.com/2009603/01/Rachel-Hoffman-deadly-dealings. https://gangstalking.wordpress.com/2010/10/14/throwdown. Or even the girl who got stopped for parking tickets, had no drug use or drug selling history, from a small town, and was placed on the informant system as a confidential informant. In that specific case, her dad went back with her to the station and removed her from the informant system. In that case, she had a lawyer in the family. The point is, innocent people who have no idea how this working are being destroyed, converted, etc. So when a document appears online explaining that many in major cities are already on the informant system, don't be surprised, because the above example was from a small town, and if the small towns are this far gone, then that becomes problematic. http://www.november.org/stanfo/breaking09/attica_informants.html http://www.snitching.org/2009/11/recruiting_new_informants.html November 10, 2009, posted by Alexandra Nadipoff at 6:27 a.m. Recruiting new informants. Here's a revealing article in the Buffalo News. Walking thin line in village of Attica, would-be informant says police coerced her into cooperation. It's about Bianca Hervey, a 20-year-old college student who got pulled over by police for failing to pay her traffic tickets. The police threatened to put her in jail for the night unless she agreed to become a drug informant. Although Hervey did not use drugs or have any connections to the drug world, police told her it didn't matter, she could still work as a snitch and try to set people up. Frightened of going to jail, Hervey signed the informant agreement. When she told her father, attorney Richard Furlong, what had happened, however, he went ballistic. Furlong went to the police and to the city of Attica and complained about the recruitment of young people into the world of drugs, but the police and the village board refused to change the policy. This story illustrates how snitching has quietly become such an immense part of the criminal justice system. Many cities have policies like Attica's, in which police can recruit any potential offender as a drug informant, even a 20-year-old guilty of nothing more than a traffic violation. It was this same type of policy that led to the death of 23-year-old Rachel Hoffman in Tallahassee, Florida, and triggered Florida's groundbreaking legislation on the subject of informant creation. See post. Florida's Rachel's Law offers some protections for informants. Alexandra Nadipoff has done some wonderful research into the informant system. She is a lawyer, and the above summary is from her. Her statistics, more importantly, back up much of what has been said about the numbers and figures of those on the informant system in most major cities and some communities. In summary, it's not paranoia when they are out to get you, as the saying goes, and it's not paranoia to believe that too many people are on informant systems and in or a part of government agencies. The things targeted individuals blog about, satellite tracking, etc., that's common knowledge, because there are articles which cover how local police and others have access to these minor technologies and have had access for years. The items less well known, but that have also been pretty common, are things like the John St. Clair Aquay case and the technologies used there. The figures on the informant system are understated. To say that half or above that in cities are on the informant system is understated. To say that school children are being stalked, interrogated for minor things, and then placed on the informant system, similar to how Bianca Harvey was, is not an exaggeration. Weed children is not a good look, and it's also one of the ways these kids in today's society are getting themselves into these situations, but also at times they are foolishly and unwisely being set up by their little friends who are already on the informant systems. Share this. Twitter, Facebook, Reddit. Related. Covert investigations, community policing, gang stalking, May 27, 2007 inches, bullying.
This is way more understood,
How do we stop
legitimated, and accepted as fact than one would ever think. It's just the most, and I say this with absolute certainty, I'd bet anything, the most smeared and suppressed information you'll ever try to find. These people have brought the war, asymmetric war, to your door, and it's not safe to be a spectator anymore. Lights on. Rats out.